Mama June trying to make money from the unfortunate hurricane tragedy? Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Mama June can do anything and everything to earn a few bucks. But this time, she crossed all the limits by using a hurricane tragedy as her source of income. Fans were in disbelief when they saw her taking advantage of their unfortunate incident to make money. Several viewers admitted that Shannon was rightly accused of being a grifter and slammed her for her selfish move. Is this true? Did June really use a hurricane to earn? What is she up to now? Keep on reading to learn why fans are calling Shannon out and what she did. Fans accuse Mama June of being a grifter. Why? Mama June and her weird antics have raised eyebrows several times. She has tried to disguise her audience several times while never leaving a chance to earn. Hence, there have been uncountable instances when the celeb has been accused of being a grifter and hoarder because of the way she was trying to hoard money from her audience. Regular watchers might remember how she used Anna's death to fill her account. Shannon was selling products related to Anna and even encashed the latter's death. Cardwell's cancer journey became part of her family show and surely boosted the ratings. Several viewers even questioned June's intentions of taking Caitlin's custody. They are sure that she wants to earn through the star kid by bringing her into the reality TV realm. But that's not the shocking part. To know what June recently did, keep on reading. Mama June used a hurricane tragedy to earn from it. But how? Hurricane Helene has been making it to the headlines all over the states. It has killed almost 120 people, and many states have been affected because of it. Hence, people all over the world are praying for the residents of America. But Mama June took this as an opportunity to earn some extra bucks and made a social media post that didn't really sit well with her audience. A Reddit thread recently started with Shannon's post on Facebook, in which she guided her viewers on how they could get $1,200 from FEMA. She claimed that if the power cut was for more than 24 hours, her audience could get this noted amount. Several viewers took to the comment section and claimed that this was fake. They even wondered if this money was directly going into Shannon's pocket. A user wrote, "Grifting as per usual." The OP further stated that this was June's typical behavior and there was nothing new in it. Moreover, because of her, people would be flooding the FEMA call line and would end up with nothing. A fan even wondered how Shannon could even think of getting money and hoarding more funds when several citizens were dying and others' lives were at stake. A viewer even claimed that June could go behind bars because of such antics. The user wrote, "Grifter, wonder when Section 8, WIC, Medicaid pumpkin will be caught." Hence, if things go the wrong way, there is a fair chance that Shannon will end up behind bars. Keep coming back to the TV season and spoilers for more updates. As communities across the Gulf Coast scrambled to rebuild after a devastating hurricane tore through neighborhoods, social media has erupted with disbelief and outrage over a surprising figure who's been making headlines once again, Mama June Shannon. The reality TV matriarch, long known for her roller coaster of a public image, is now at the center of a firestorm involving grief, greed, and growing suspicion. What started as a seemingly heartfelt outreach effort has transformed into a viral scandal, prompting whispers that Mama June may be attempting to cash in on calamity. For someone whose past is riddled with financial pitfalls, addiction struggles, and a deeply fractured relationship with her children, this latest controversy has added yet another layer of infamy to an already dramatic legacy. The storm and the spotlight. When Hurricane Adele, dubbed the Silent Destroyer by meteorologists, swept across the southeast, thousands were left displaced. Homes vanished, power grids collapsed, and desperate families flooded shelters with tear-streaked faces and few belongings. Within days, national news outlets began airing heart-wrenching footage from the hardest-hit towns. And then came Mama June. Not one to remain in the shadows for long, the former Here Comes Honey Boo Boo star re-emerged on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook Live, broadcasting updates from what she claimed was her own impromptu aid station. With a smartphone in one hand and donation links in the other, Mama June appeared deeply emotional, pacing around a makeshift tent filled with canned goods, bottled water, and secondhand blankets. Her followers, many of whom had remained loyal since the early TLC days, initially showered her with praise, but skepticism began to seep in just as fast. Suspicious intentions? What drew the first wave of concern wasn't just the sudden pivot from quiet living to public philanthropy. It was the branding. Critics noticed that nearly every live stream featured a suspicious number of strategically placed banners reading Mama June Relief Fund, #JuneStrong, and even merchandise tables with Storm Survivor hoodies and mugs bearing her signature catchphrases. It wasn't long before eagle-eyed fans began asking where the donations were actually going. Unlike established relief organizations, Mama June's fund appeared to have no official nonprofit status, no clear beneficiary lists, and no transparent accounting of how the money would be distributed. Behind the scenes, a few locals who had been affected by the hurricane claimed to have seen June filming herself in front of damaged homes that didn't belong to her or anyone she knew. One even accused her of staging some of the footage, arriving with a film crew and props to dramatize the setting. Family concerns and public doubts. Even as Mama June was draped in disaster relief garb, her estranged family members reportedly grew uneasy. Those closest to her, especially daughter Lauren "Pumpkin" Shannon, were said to be appalled by how swiftly she turned the tragedy into a media opportunity. Insiders claimed Pumpkin had attempted to reach out privately, but her concerns were met with silence and, in some cases, complete defiance. The reality star's relationship with her daughters has long been rocky, but this stunt might have taken things beyond repair. One source close to the family revealed that Alana "Honey Boo Boo" Thompson, now a young adult preparing for college life, was humiliated and embarrassed by her mother's antics. Meanwhile, longtime fans and critics alike couldn't help but recall June's past financial missteps. The lavish spending sprees, the pawn shop visits, the addiction spirals, all painted a troubling picture of a woman who may be falling back into the same exploitative patterns. The question echoing across social platforms became clear. Was this another scheme dressed in sympathy? The merchandise mystery. While it's not uncommon for public figures to launch fundraising efforts during times of crisis, Mama June's methods seemed increasingly self-serving. Her online store, hastily set up just days after the hurricane, included not just relief-themed gear, but also new exclusive content packages and paid video messages. One particularly baffling item was a $99 VIP relief kit, which promised personalized thanks from Mama June herself, a branded water bottle, and access to a private Discord server. Critics couldn't wrap their heads around why such a kit was necessary in a humanitarian crisis. More damning still, several customers alleged that their orders had either not arrived or came with shoddy, dollar store quality items. A few even claimed they were blocked from her social pages after questioning the legitimacy of the purchases. An attempt to rewrite the narrative. As backlash mounted, Mama June doubled down on her social media presence. Posts defending her intentions were peppered with emotional anecdotes, religious quotes, and teary-eyed video monologues. She insisted that she was doing what she could, how she could, and that haters were trying to bring down someone who had already been through enough. She also began releasing previously unseen footage of herself walking among storm survivors, often narrating their stories while ensuring the camera captured her emotional reactions. However, more than a few skeptics pointed out that many of these clips lacked proper context, and that those being filmed appeared uncomfortable or unaware they were being broadcast. Meanwhile, officials in some of the affected counties began quietly investigating several individuals claiming to raise funds for storm victims without proper credentials. Though no formal charges or investigations had been announced publicly, whispers in the Disaster Recovery Network suggested that Mama June's name had made it onto at least one of those informal watch lists. Clout chasing or crisis care? At the heart of the controversy lies a broader cultural question. When does disaster relief cross the line into exploitation? Mama June, long familiar with the pitfalls of fame and public scrutiny, may have underestimated the thin line between being seen as a helper and a hustler. To her defenders, she's just a misunderstood woman trying to find redemption through service, using the tools she knows, social media and her platform. To her detractors, she's a walking headline mining human suffering for financial gain, caught once again in the undertow of her own questionable choices. Some argue that even if the effort was poorly executed, at least someone benefited from the visibility she brought. Others aren't so generous, calling the campaign a calculated cash grab veiled in crocodile tears.